We're counting down the 9 slot machines you'll regret playing. And as a former casino CEO, I know exactly how these games are designed to empty your wallet. From deceptively cheap bets to psychological traps and branded machines that seem safe but are anything but. Each entry exposes a hidden layer of casino strategy you are not supposed to see. Which machine ranks as the most ruthless of all? Let's begin with number 9. Penny slots with 243 ways to win might sound harmless, but the reality is anything but. The label says 1 cent, yet the minimum bet is $2.43 per spin because every payline must be covered. Most players walk up expecting a cheap game, only to find their bankroll disappearing at a rate they never expected. The return to player on these machines averages just 85 to 88%. That means for every $100 wagered, $12 to $15 are gone for good. Casinos rely on that confusion, and over time, losses add up fast. There are countless stories of players who thought they were playing it safe, only to realize too late how much they were losing. Industry data confirms that thousands of dollars can vanish in just a few months on these so-called penny games. The math is simple. 243 lines, 1 cent each, every spin. The losses are anything but simple to swallow. This is the baseline trap. Cheap on the surface, expensive underneath. Wheel of Fortune slots are everywhere for a reason. The second you walk into a casino, you will spot those giant spinning wheels and hear the familiar theme music. That is not by accident. Casinos pay hefty licensing fees to use the Wheel of Fortune brand, and they make sure to get their money's worth. These machines are placed right at the entrance, in the brightest, busiest spots on the floor, and the numbers back it up. Wheel of Fortune slots pull in 40% more revenue per square foot than other themed machines. The secret is not just nostalgia, it is the math behind the game. The house edge on these machines hovers around 11%, which means for every $100 played, the casino expects to keep $11. Most slots do not even come close to that margin. Players are drawn in by the TV show memories, but the real winner is the casino. The branding is not just for show, it is a financial strategy. Every spin is a reminder that in the world of slots, familiar faces and catchy tunes can cost you more than you think. Slot machines with near-miss programming are the ones that haunt me the most. On paper, every spin is random. But the way these games are built, losing can feel almost like winning. The reels stop just short of the jackpot symbol. One cherry above, one bar below, and your brain lights up as if you were inches from a payout. That sensation is not an accident. It is engineered. Manufacturers have patented algorithms that control how often those almost wins appear. Instead of true randomness, these machines are programmed to display near-miss outcomes on 20 to 40% of losing spins. The effect is powerful. A study at the University of Cambridge used fMRI scans to watch what happens in the brain during these moments. The results showed that near misses trigger the same reward circuits as actual wins. Dopamine floods in, motivation spikes, and the urge to keep playing grows stronger, even though your money keeps slipping away. I remember sitting in a design meeting as an executive, reviewing the animation logic for a new slot model. The lead engineer explained how the final reel could be slowed, the jackpot symbol hovering just out of reach, the lights and sounds ramping up the tension. I felt a knot in my stomach. This was not about entertainment. It was about pushing people to the edge, then nudging them further. I raised my concerns, but was told it was standard practice, perfectly legal, and good for business. That moment has stuck with me ever since. The science is clear. Near-miss programming manipulates persistence. It is not about luck or skill. It is about making you believe you are always one spin away from a win, even when you are not. And that is why these machines are so dangerous. They do not just take your money, they hijack your instincts. Progressive jackpot slots promise a dream that is hard to resist. The top prize, sometimes $10 million or more, flashes overhead, drawing crowds and hopeful players from across the floor. But behind those headlines, the math tells a different story. Hitting the jackpot on a machine like Megabucks, the odds are about 1 in 49.8 million. Statistically, you could spin every minute of every day for decades and never see that life-changing win. To fund those giant jackpots, the base game takes a heavy toll. The average return to player drops to around 86% once the jackpot pool is factored in. That means for every $100 played, only $86 come back over time. The rest feeds the ever-growing jackpot and the casino's bottom line. Marcus, a former developer, once told me, "The progressive dream is the ultimate bait." Everyone sees the big number, but nobody notices the base game is draining them faster than almost any other slot. Casinos know exactly where to put these machines. Progressive slots are placed near entrances and busy walkways where the jackpot ticker cannot be missed. The allure is not just about winning, it is about being seen chasing the win. Multi-state networks make the jackpot look attainable, but every spin from every linked machine chips away at the odds. The reality is, you are paying more for the chance to fantasize, not to actually win. For most players, the dream comes with a price they will never get back. Game of Thrones, The Walking Dead, Sex and the City. These aren't just TV shows anymore. They are slot machines, and they're some of the most expensive to play on the entire casino floor. Casinos shell out licensing fees that can eat up 15 to 18% of every dollar those machines make. That cost gets passed straight to the player through lower returns. Most branded slots run with a return to player between 88 and 92%. Compare that to unbranded classics, which often sit at 94 to 96%. That's up to 8% less money coming back over the long haul, all for a few seconds of theme music and some flashy graphics. There is a reason these machines are everywhere, from Vegas to Atlantic City. The branding draws people in, and the math keeps them playing. I remember a player named James, a die-hard Game of Thrones fan, who spent $8,000 over a few months chasing bonus rounds on his favorite machine. When we pulled his records, his actual return was 86.3%. He could have played a standard 3-reel slot and lost far less, but the lure of dragons and theme music kept him coming back. I call that the Game of Thrones tax. You are not paying for better odds. You are paying for spectacle. The house loves it. The only thing more reliable than a slot machine is a slot machine with a blockbuster logo slapped on the front. Multi-game video poker hybrids are some of the most misleading machines on the casino floor. At first glance, they look like traditional video poker, the kind of game where if you know the odds and play perfectly, you can get a return as high as 99.5%. But these hybrids are a different animal. The pay tables are quietly gutted, and flashy bonus rounds are added to distract from the real math. Instead of a straightforward game of skill, you are faced with unpredictable volatility and a much lower payback, usually around 93%. That is a 6.5% drop from the best full-pay machines, and it adds up fast. The illusion is that you are still playing a game where strategy matters. In reality, the skill factor is almost completely erased. The bonuses and progressive elements are designed to keep you entertained, but they come at a steep price. The base game pays less, and the excitement of the bonus features masks just how much you are giving up in the long run. Casinos know that most players will not notice the altered pay tables or the reduced odds. All they see are the bright lights and the promise of a big win. But the numbers do not lie. A 99.5% game can be a fair fight. A 93% hybrid is just another way to lose more, faster. Slot machines placed near table games are not just an accident of design. They are a calculated move. Casino floor plans are drawn up with one goal: squeeze every last dollar out of distracted players. The machines closest to blackjack, poker, or the cashier are not the same as those on the main floor. They are what insiders call time killers, low-return slots set up to catch people waiting for a seat or cashing out chips. Internal memos from management meetings spell out the logic. Players in these zones are not focused on odds, they are just looking to pass a few minutes. That is when the house edge quietly jumps. The same slot model, when stationed near table games, often runs with a return to player 3 to 5% lower than identical machines elsewhere. Over a year, that difference adds up fast. At one property, a bank of 12 machines squeezed into 180 square feet generated $892,000 in annual revenue, nearly double the casino average per square foot. The secret is not a new game or a lucky streak. It is pure psychology and ruthless placement. The casino knows you are not paying attention. That is when you pay the most. Bonus buy slots take the risk and speed of modern gambling to a whole new level. These machines offer a shortcut. Pay 50 to 100 times your base bet and you can jump straight into the bonus round, skipping the regular spins entirely. On paper, it sounds like a way to cut the waiting and get to the exciting part. In reality, it is a fast track to losing money at a pace most players are not prepared for. Internal design documents from major slot manufacturers predicted a 40% jump in hourly wagering after bonus buy features were introduced. That prediction was not just hype, it played out on casino floors and in online lobbies worldwide. The numbers do not lie. A single bonus buy can cost hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on your base bet. There are documented cases where players have lost over $5,000 in less than half an hour, buying bonus after bonus, chasing that one big win that never comes. The volatility is off the charts. Most bonus rounds pay back far less than the buy-in, and unlucky streaks can wipe out a bankroll in minutes. Regulators in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Michigan have all launched investigations into these features, citing concerns over how quickly players can lose large sums. Some European countries have already banned or restricted bonus buys for the same reason. The real trick is how these machines are structured. The base game is intentionally dull, with low payouts and little excitement, almost nudging you towards spending big on the bonus. It is manufactured frustration, designed to push you into riskier bets. The result? Players spend more, lose faster, and often do not realize just how much they have put at stake until it is too late. For anyone who values their money, bonus buy slots are a siren's call best ignored. Airport slot machines are, without question, the worst bet in gambling. These machines are engineered for one thing: to squeeze every last dollar from travelers with nowhere else to go. In Nevada, the law sets a minimum return to player RTP of 75%. That is the legal floor, and at airports, casinos do not hesitate to set their machines right at the bottom. The average return to player for airport slots hovers around 78%, far below anything you will find on the main casino floor. That means for every $100 wagered, you are statistically losing $22, nearly a quarter of your money, before you even board your flight. The economics behind these machines are simple and ruthless. Airports like McCarran in Las Vegas operate under special concession contracts. Casino companies pay hefty fees for the right to run slot machines in the terminal, and in turn, they maximize margins by offering the worst odds legally allowed. The logic is cold. Most people playing these slots are just passing through. They are killing time before a flight or spending leftover cash. They are not coming back to the same machine, and they are not tracking their losses over months. With no repeat customers to worry about, there is zero incentive to offer fair odds. Airport slots are some of the most profitable machines in the entire state. McCarran Airport, for example, consistently posts the highest per-machine profit figures in Nevada. The numbers are staggering. These machines generate more revenue per unit than even the busiest strip casinos. The reason is simple. Travelers are a captive audience, and the machines are tuned to take advantage of that fact. There is no competition, no savvy regulars demanding higher returns, just a steady stream of fresh wallets. Even the placement of these machines is calculated. They are positioned right at the gates, near baggage claim, and along every main walkway. The lights and sounds are a final lure before you leave town. But the reality is harsh. Airport slots are a one-way ticket for your money. The odds are stacked higher than anywhere else, and the game is over before it starts. If you care about your bankroll, never play a slot machine at the airport. The legal minimum payout is not a warning. It is a business model. Every spin is a donation to the house, and the only thing you will take home is regret. Casinos count on travelers not knowing the odds. Now you do. Across all 9 machines, one truth emerges. Casino design is engineered to exploit our instincts, not reward our play. From psychological triggers to strategic placement, these tactics turn entertainment into a calculated extraction. Today, slot machines drive up to 80% of casino profits because the system works exactly as planned. In gambling, the real game isn't chance, it's manipulation.